It's still the conversation, and on this segment, you know how we do it. We talk about Lagos and everything that concerns us here. Again, my name is Adebimpe Omotayo, and we have a pressing issue that we need to talk about. Most times, this particular matter is usually overlooked because of ignorance, or sometimes, you know, people just want to be do whatever they want to do. And today we're talking about proper wastewater disposal here in Lagos, and we have Engineer Adefemi Afolabi. He's a General Manager, Lagos State Wastewater Management Office. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You know, when I started, I said, is it that some people are just, pure evil, or, it's ignorance? But sometimes ignorance is not an excuse. So I'd like us to start this way. What exactly does wastewater cover? And, what do you do as wastewater management agency?
Thank you very much. So the Lagos State Wastewater Management Office was set up 3rd of September 2010 to manage the issues of wastewater and fecal sludge management in Lagos State. And wastewater is spent water from either your housing estates, your homes, commercial premises, industrial premises, agricultural premises, anywhere that there's activity of human beings, you generate wastewater, because you can't do without water. And I can tell you for a fact that 80% of water that is used on a daily basis turns to wastewater, meaning that you only consume 20% of it, and the 80% goes out. So it's either you are using it for washing, you are using it for bathing, you're using it for cooking, you're using it for car wash, you're using it for any activity of human endeavor, industrial purposes, caterers, eateries, you generate wastewater at the end of the day. And our agency was set up to actually look into this matter, because it's a growing concern that what do we do with this wastewater, as it were. And wastewater is not a waste, it's also a resource if we really harness it.
Okay, we'll get to that when we're talking about the circular economy.
Yes. And it could also be a disadvantage to human beings and to public health if not properly managed.
Okay, talking about being properly managed, yes. I thought that, this water, when used, it goes down the pipes into the drains, and of course it will go to the appropriate channel. And I asked you earlier before we started the show, I said, is there anything like improper water waste disposal? Because everything has been channeled from the home, even from industries, it has a place. So what do you mean by improper, water waste disposal?
Okay, improper wastewater management is when you deliberately discharge your spent water, as it's called wastewater, into the drainages without being treated. So the standard is that you must contain all wastewater.
Without being treated?
Yes, without being treated. So the drains are for stormwater, not for wastewater. So when we wash, yes, when we use our kitchen waste and we just throw it into the drainages, and when we deliberately channel our septic tanks and soak away pits into the drainages, you are acting or traverse of the law, and it's against the provisions of the Lagos State Environmental Management and Protection Law 2017. And that law provides that everybody must have a containment, and that's the primary level of management of your wastewater in any enclave. You must have a containment where you contain all this spent water. And you call on the appropriate registered sewage evacuator when it's filled up. So everybody has a responsibility, and that's the list of the level of proper wastewater management in homes, in hotel facilities, in industries, where human activity takes place. So the second level will be, of course, according to the law, section 275 and 301 of that part 9 of the Lagos State Environmental Management and Protection Law. It says that any confine or any premises that has a population of 50 and above must install a wastewater treatment plant.
50 and above.
50 and above
Persons in that building.
Yes, in that building must
okay.
have installed a sewage treatment plant or a wastewater treatment plant, or
Why?
any building
Okay.
that has more than 3 floors of dwelling or an office or an industrial premises must also install a sewage treatment plant. And all buildings, residing in a high water table area. And you asked why? Because one, the number of persons that are generating wastewater on a daily basis
is more,
cannot be contained effectively. That means that you'll be calling upon evacuators to probably come every week to evacuate your waste. So it will be very systematic and proactive for you to install a mechanism on site to treat the generated wastewater before it is being disposed into the environment. And of course, we also encourage the RRL system that you can reuse, you can reduce, you can recycle, and you can recover. So you can make use of this resource for gardening purposes, for watering of your vegetation.
I don't want to be so
Yes.
vulgar or wrong.
Yes.
If I say it in Yoruba, it's so disgusting. How does that benefit this? Anyway, reduce it.
Yes. It's part of the resource conservation of water. We are so much laxed in this part of the world because we have access to water. If you go to climes where they have to drill so many kilometers to the ground level, where they don't have access to surface water, you will recycle your used water to clean water. You will drink that recycled water because it will be recycled and cleaned up to a permissible level where it is allowed for you to drink. You can use it to cook. You can use it to flush even your system in the, it's all part of the recovery stage. And that is what we also advocate, that instead of you throwing out your spent water in a population that has 50 and above, that will generate large volume of wastewater daily, you should have installed a contraption, a mechanism on site that will do all these things for you before you reuse.
Okay, you've talked about a standing law, about this wastewater disposal. There's been this particular area who have continued to complain that this particular building or particular persons living in this building channeled their, wastewater straight into the drainage. And since there is a law, are there people, because I don't think I've ever seen any officer from your agency out there to monitor this, and I don't think anybody has ever been, made to pay a penalty. So is there any monitoring mechanism from your agency that, sees into the monitoring of areas in Lagos to ensure that, pipes are not, wastewater are not directly going into the drains? Because it happens,
Yes.
and I don't think anything is being done. So do you have officers that that monitor?
Yes, as an agency, we have 20 zones spread across the state to monitor the issues that you have just raised. When badly behaved citizens, yes,
I like that. Badly behaved citizens, yes,
indiscriminately and deliberately pipe their waste.
But what is the reason why they will do that?
Well, they're just being clever by half, and they don't want to take responsibility for the waste being generated by them. It's just equivalent to somebody dumping solid waste on the median and expects the Lagos State government to pick it up for them. So as an agency, we have zonal officers, monitoring officers that on a daily basis in all these zones across the state monitor this kind of activities. And they go from homes, premises to premises to check whether there are laid pipes from septic tanks. And we have seen a lot of cases in recent times that people have been brazen, and they will just deliberately just extend pipes from their homes and channel raw feces into the drainages and feel that it's going to vanish overnight. And we have also seen cases that people deliberately install pumping machines into the septic tanks, which are supposed to really hold the fecal matter and spent water. And they just pump it out into the drainages. And they're just polluting the environment and causing the incidence of things like outbreak of the cholera that we experienced last year, that we had like over 500 cases and about 15 deaths as reported by the NCDC. And as such, we are not taking it lightly. And so our officers go on a daily basis. And we also receive complaints, whistleblowing, through our social media handles, phone lines. They call us directly. And there are punitive actions taken against such properties. They are sanctioned in accordance with the provisions of the law. Some of them are charged to court. Some of them are imprisoned because it's a deliberate act. And you are actually killing people.
Okay, so you know, I said ignorance is not an excuse, but from your office, do you have a way where you engage the community and let them know of the dangers of what they are doing before you now say, okay, I'm going to arrest you because there's a law?
Yes, as an agency, we have a responsibility to do advocacy. And from time to time, we go around town hall meetings, meeting with associations, meeting with market women, meeting with CDAs, even local government officials.
Do you work with the sanitarians?
Yes, we have health officers. We have wastewater monitors that are trained to actually monitor the environment and give the adequate responses. So from time to time, we speak and we have conversations with estates, agents, facility managers that manage estates, buildings. So, and we give the right instructions on what to do. And we engage. We have a unit in our agency that is called the wastewater management advocacy unit that go around, even government agencies, builds industries, agencies like physical planning, that even from the scratch, we want them to know about the provisions of the law and what citizens are supposed to do when obtaining building permits. So from that stage, you'll be enlightened and you'll be told that these are the requirements. If you have such a building that is over 3 floors, that's going to contain 50 population and above. And that is the provision of the law. So from time to time, we engage people. And we have seen that even engagement and advocacy is not just enough. We still have to just keep on engaging and retraining. We also have stakeholders engagement with some of the people that we work with. And the people like Swadan, we call them the sewage and wastewater haulers. They are the haulage people that come to homes to pick up the waste. And from time to time, we train them on the safe way of handling sewage when they go evacuate. And of course, we have facilities that they go to dump at where this sewage will be treated at the end of the day.
Let's talk about dredging of boreholes now, and the sewage septic tanks. I'd like you to educate the residents or our viewers on how one can ensure that their boreholes during dredging, it does not affect or the septic tank, or the septic tank does not get too close. Is there some kind of measurement? Because there has been a case before where a whole house was sealed, and because they found out the the occupants of that building found out that, you know, their water was being, what I say, had feces contamination and was smelling. So they later found out that, you know, it was the septic tank, the borehole digging was close to the septic tank.
Yes.
So where does your agency come in there?
Yes, there are regulations in place, and citizens must understand that the proximity of drilling of boreholes, which are the main and let me say major water source for consumption in Lagos State, groundwater. So you must be very circumspect and know that your boreholes must be drilled with a clearance of like 15 meters from your septic tanks, because there's a connection underground where water will flow. So many people ignorantly consume their feces.
Hey.
Yes, if that is not if their boreholes are not properly dug. And from time to time, we go to such complaints that that reach out to our offices. And of course, in the course of our inspections, we notice and we also advise them that this borehole, of course, after taking samples, water samples, we usually find out that they are coliform in that water, meaning that there's a connection between that borehole and what is being generated from those homes. So we advise that those kind of boreholes should be discarded and another one to be drilled in a safer, you know, distant location. And of course, citizens must also be aware that even when your neighbor is constructing, you must be aware where he's siting a septic tank. It must have a clearance of at least 50 meters from your own water source. If you quickly see somebody drilling, having a septic tank beside your already installed borehole, you quickly raise alarm, because what he's trying to do is to poison the whole household without them knowing. And so you see the incidence of typhoid from time to time. And you know, people these days now treat malaria with typhoid. It's a 2-in-1 combo. And when we were growing up in Lagos, we have never had such cases. And of course, this year has arisen because of the population expansion, you know, urbanization, and you have more people living in Lagos, and of course residing in a smaller space area.
Okay, you've talked about one of the impacts of not disposing their wastewater properly on the environment. Can you talk about others briefly before we go on to climate change?
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's also a direct nexus to what is happening, improper wastewater management. The aesthetic of the environment is distorted. You have some environments that will have foul smell, and you just know for a fact that people are disposing of their sewage or wastewater directly into the drainages. And you have incidents of mosquitoes, you know, breeding in such environment. You have flies, so you have cross-contamination, flies carrying coliform feces from one home to another. So you have people coming up with dysentery. You know, the environment is not just bearable for living. So we have had a lot of complaints. And flooding is also a connection with flooding. When it's not raining, you don't expect the storm water drain to be filled. But in some environments, you see that the drainages are filled from time to time.
I was going to say there's this particular area in Bagada after the Deeper Life Church, you know. This particular area is usually flooded, whether it is raining, whether it is not raining. That place is always flooded. What do you think are the environmental causes of that?
So what is basically happening is that a lot of citizens and residents in that area do not channel properly their spent water, their wastewater, into a containment.
But are you aware of this area that I just mentioned?
Well, our monitoring is always a growing concern,
Okay.
and we go from time to time.
Okay.
So those kind of places should be reported.
Okay.
So that our phone lines can keep buzzing and our officers can, you know, actually look into those kind of cases. And of course, those premises will be penalized. And because of the population explosion,
yeah.
people are too many in those dwellings.
Okay.
You know, a one-room apartment is supposed to, you know, by standard, house like maybe 2 people. But now in Lagos, you find out a one-room is housing like 4, 6 people at a time. A 2-bedroom apartment is supposed to house like 4. You find out that you have 12 in those dwellings. A 3-bedroom apartment is supposed to dwell, you know, house like 6, you know, to 8. But you see like 20 people living in a 3-bedroom apartment, and the wastewater generation is continuous. So the septic tank that has been designed to contain the amount of population that is designed for is now expanded. So the septic tanks has failed. That is what it's in Nigeria, it has failed its purpose.
Okay.
So they won't do any other thing but to find a way out, but to channel their waste. So we usually advise that if your septic tanks cannot take that volume of generation again, you must dig another one and construct another septic tank to contain your waste, because we have more people living in that environment.
Okay, still talking of flooding. This is flooding caused by rain, or you know, which we can call emergencies. So how does your agency now handle emergencies like flooding that can disrupt, you know, already planned wastewater disposal?
Okay, the effects of climate change, and those are one of the effects that is eating us straight in the face. Flooding, ocean rise,
and especially that Lagos is, you know,
is an high water table state.
Yeah.
So we always interface with the Office of Drainage Services and Water Resources, because our agency is under the supervision of the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. So anything that causes flooding, which is related to us, we, in conjunction, work with the Office of Drainage Services, where we from time to time report such cases. And if it's a blockage, you know, maybe by siltation of maybe the drains that cannot, you know, take the capacity of the water coming, quickly report to the ministry where it will be cleaned up.
Okay.
Yes.
There's this common saying about catching them young, and especially when we have a population that is, you know, highly youth populated. Is there a way you take this, your advocacy, to schools or amongst the youth, you know, to make your job easier?
Yes, as an agency, we have a school advocacy program that we reach out to schools, especially public schools in Lagos State, and in all these districts of education districts. So we from time to time have a wastewater club. You know, that
there's a wastewater club.
Yes, that we engage with the children so that we can also catch them young, you know, before they grow into the bad habits that is not permissible. So we enlighten them, we teach them. We have competitions that we engage them on, and they are very enthusiastic when we come with the subject of wastewater. That is something that they live with, and so they take those campaigns even further to their parents at home. And we have had great testimonies that, oh, our parents didn't know this, and they keep on enlightening them. So we are really pushing hard on school advocacy.
So just before we go, so how do Lagosians now continue to stay informed, you know, about wastewater management disposal?
Yes, as an agency, we have phone lines that the public can contact us on.
Okay.
And they are 080 22 02 2397. And the other one is 070 25 33 2163. I repeat again, 070 25 33 2163. 63. And on social media, we are on X at Laswamo Media. Laswamo is LSWMO Media.
Media.
And of course, on Instagram too at Laswamo Media. And we're also on Facebook, the Lagos State Wastewater Management Office. That's our Facebook handle. So, and our website, www.moe.ng. And so you can contact us via all these lines. And our office is at number 1 Obasa Road, off Obakran Avenue, Ikeja. So we are open to people coming in. If you have wastewater challenges, if you want to report indiscriminate discharge of wastewater into the environment, you can call upon us. You have some badly behaved sewage evacuators, you know, that will dump
those ones
sewage
are part
into
of the problem.
into the waterways. You can report such. We have all their data and we penalize from time to time. You can report dilapidated septic tanks. If you have your neighbor that has a septic tank that
sock away.
Yeah, a sock away pit.
Sock away.
Yes.
Because they might not understand.
Yes, a sock away pit that is open and you know it could cause injury or death if somebody falls into those kind of openings. So we expect that it is well covered. You don't park your vehicles on such sockaway pits, and just report to our agency and we'll take the needed right action.
Thank you very much, Engineer Adefemi Afolabi, for sharing your insights on this vital issue. The issue of wastewater disposal, it's not just for government, it is a collective responsibility. We'll be right back after this short break.